Urgent Atlanta Falcons fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Falcons fans! Today, I've got a story that's been making waves across the NFL community, and it's one you definitely don't want to miss. We're talking about a situation that has cast a shadow over the Atlanta Falcons, a story that involves not only the team's defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, but also his son, Jax. This isn't just a simple off-field incident, it's a moment that's already being remembered as one of the most controversial and talked about in recent NFL history. And let me tell you, it's got everything: drama, consequences, and a lot of questions about professionalism, youth, and how teams handle these kinds of situations. So, what exactly happened? Well, it all started when a video surfaced online showing Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of the Falcons' defensive coordinator, prank-calling Shedeur Sanders, the rising star quarterback of Colorado. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? It might seem like just a prank at first glance, but in the NFL, especially around draft time, things get a lot more serious. The NFL's investigation revealed that Jax managed to get Sanders' phone number from his father's iPad, yes, the same device that contains contact info for prospects and coaches across the league. That's a serious breach of privacy, and it's something that NFL teams and officials don't take lightly. The league's response was swift and firm. Not only was Jeff Ulbrich fined $100,000 for his son's actions, but the Atlanta Falcons were hit with a hefty $250,000 fine as well. That's a significant penalty, and it certainly sends a message that league officials are taking privacy violations and unsportsmanlike conduct seriously, especially during such a pivotal time as the draft. Now, some critics, like Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, have questioned whether even this level of punishment is enough, considering the implications of a prank that could have been more damaging. However, it's worth noting that there's no precedent for an incident quite like this, so the league is trying to handle it with a measured approach. But beyond the fines and the headlines, what really stands out is the human element of this story. Jeff Ulbrich, who served as the interim head coach for the New York Jets last season before joining the Falcons, has been placed in an incredibly difficult position. As a parent, it's natural to want to protect your child, but at the same time, there's a responsibility to uphold professionalism and integrity, especially when your actions or those of your family can impact your career and the reputation of your organization. Jeff publicly took responsibility, saying, "We have to take this on the chin," and emphasizing that he and his family are committed to learning from this incident and growing stronger because of it. That kind of humility and accountability, especially in such a high-pressure environment, speaks volumes about his character. Now, let's take a step back and analyze the broader context here. The Falcons, under head coach Arthur Smith, have been building a team with a focus on defense and youth, trying to turn things around after a couple of disappointing seasons. In this past draft, they made some strategic moves to bolster their defensive line, selecting talented pass rushers like Jalen Walker from Georgia and James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. These picks signal the team's intent to strengthen their front seven, which has been a concern in recent years. The coaching staff, led by Ulbrich, has been working tirelessly to develop this young talent, and they see the potential in these players to become key contributors in their defensive schemes. But this incident with Jax has thrown a spotlight not just on the team's draft strategy but also on the challenges of managing personal and professional boundaries in today's digital age. It's a reminder that even in the world of professional sports, youth and impulsiveness can sometimes lead to unintended consequences. The NFL and the Falcons organization are now faced with the delicate task of balancing accountability with understanding, recognizing that Jax's actions don't necessarily define Jeff Ulbrich's coaching abilities or the team's future. It's a moment of reflection, of how teams can support their staff and players' families while maintaining standards and discipline. And speaking of the Falcons' future, let's not forget that the team is in a crucial phase. After a couple of seasons that didn't meet expectations, they're eager to turn things around. The defense, which Ulbrich is in charge of coordinating, is a key piece of that puzzle. The addition of young, talented edge rushers like Jalen Walker and James Pierce signifies their commitment to building a more aggressive and disruptive defensive unit. Walker, a Georgia product, has shown flashes of brilliance in college, and the Falcons are banking on his pass rushing skills to make an immediate impact. Pierce Jr., coming from Tennessee, also boasts impressive athleticism and a relentless motor. These players are the future of Atlanta's defense, and the coaching staff is counting on their development to elevate the team. But, of course, any story involving a coach's family, especially one that involves a prank call to a rising NFL star, inevitably raises questions about discipline, maturity, and the culture within organizations. It's a reminder that NFL teams aren't just about X's and O's, they're about character, resilience, and managing off-field issues with the same seriousness that they handle on-field tactics. The Falcons' front office and coaching staff will need to navigate this situation carefully, making sure that everyone understands the importance of maintaining professionalism, even in moments of youthful indiscretion. Now, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders for a moment. He's been making headlines himself, not just for his impressive play at Colorado but also for his charismatic personality and leadership qualities. Sanders has quickly become a fan favorite and a rising star in the league, and this prank call incident has cast a brief shadow over his rising reputation. Still, it's important to remember that Sanders handled this situation professionally and with maturity, demonstrating why he's considered one of the most promising quarterbacks entering the NFL draft in recent years. This whole incident underscores the importance of respecting privacy and boundaries, especially when dealing with young athletes and prospects. Back to the Falcons, what does this mean for their upcoming season? Well, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, this kind of controversy can be a distraction, a hurdle that the team will need to overcome. On the other hand, it's also an opportunity for growth. The team's leadership, including Arthur Smith and the coaching staff, will likely use this incident as a teaching moment, emphasizing values like responsibility, respect, and professionalism to their players and staff. It's also a reminder that, despite setbacks, the Falcons are still focused on building a competitive roster, one that can challenge in the NFC South and beyond. Looking ahead, the team's draft picks, their offseason moves, and the development of their young core will be critical. The defense, with its new additions and the guidance of Ulbrich, has the potential to be a real strength if everything clicks. The offense, led by quarterback Desmond Ridder, will need to continue evolving, with the goal of becoming more explosive and consistent. There's a lot of excitement around the Falcons' future, but incidents like this serve as a reminder that they're still a work in progress, both on and off the field. And, of course, fans are deeply invested in every detail. They want to see their team succeed, but they also care about the integrity and reputation of the franchise. This story has sparked plenty of debates on social media, some fans defending Ulbrich, saying everyone makes mistakes, especially young people, and that the coach deserves support. Others are more critical, questioning how such a breach could happen and what it says about the team's culture. It's a reminder that in the world of the NFL, every move is scrutinized, and transparency and accountability are more important than ever. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into the incident and what it means for the Falcons, I want to emphasize that this is still an evolving story. The team's response, the league's stance, and the future of Jeff Ulbrich and his coaching staff will be interesting to watch. But one thing is clear, the Atlanta Falcons remain a team with a lot of potential, a passionate fan base, and a lot of resilience. Despite setbacks, they have the talent, the leadership, and the drive to keep pushing forward. This incident might be a bump in the road, but it's also a chance for the team to come together, to learn, and to show that they can handle adversity with integrity. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you think the punishment was fair? How do you see the team handling this in the long run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. We're all in this journey together, and I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insights into what's happening with your favorite team. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Falcons!